All right, yo, what's up? So I had a comment asking how to do good drums in BandLab, and today I'm gonna be teaching y'all how to do it. I'm gonna be using my ANY DAW Drum Kit that you can get on my website, but you can use these methods with any drum kit that you want. Anyways, I hope y'all have a good day. Let's get into the video. Alrighty, so right now we got this little melody that I got from BandLab Sounds over here, and I'm gonna just show y'all what it sounds like, and I'm gonna show y'all kind of how I think to lay out drums. So I'm already thinking, when I'm hearing that, I'm thinking about the metronome. So if I mute this, we'll hear 2 3 4 2 2. So ba 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 ba. So I'm thinking about making my drums stay on tempo. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go in and we're gonna actually just drag in one of my sounds over here. I'm gonna add in the essential kick right here. And I'm gonna kind of just show y'all my method of playing around with these drums. So like dun dun dun. So boom, boom, boom. So here we go. That's too close. So I went boom, boom, boom. So and then I know this next one should be right here. I'm playing everything right now, and I'm snapping them all on the same notes or on the same timing. You don't have to do that, but normally you want to do that to start off just so everything stays on beat, and then you can add rolls, which I'm going to show y'all in a sec. So now that I got a good start, I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy this over to here. So there we go. So now that we hear this with the context, this is what it sounds like. Which that sounds pretty good. That sounds simple, you know, and a lot of times simple beats are the best way to go. But let me teach y'all how to spice it up a little bit. So y'all can add these things called doubles, and triples and things like that. So what I wanted to do is add like a boom, 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 boom. So I hear the next kick would have to be right here for it to sound nice. So let's go ahead and add that. And we're going to delete this. And that's not where I need it. I need it here. And that's not there. It should be here, actually. Now I want, so boom, 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 and then boom, boom, boom. Like I want a little space. So let me see where that's supposed to be at. So the next one should be, I think, right around here. So let's see. Boom, boom. So we're gonna go ahead and drag you and see where this is supposed to be at. And it's just all about just playing around, you know what I'm saying? Just like, so that's not supposed to be there. And see, that works right there, you know what I'm saying? So now we got a little pattern with the kick. So and maybe I don't like that. Maybe I don't like it to be like that. Maybe I want this here, which I like that better. But it kind of depends. And as long as you're in the metronome, let's mute this again. Let's hear the metronome. See the dun 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 dun. As long as you're inside of it or you're directly on it, you'll be on beat. It just depends on how you want to go. So that's how I kind of go ahead and do the kicks. Now the next thing would be hi-hats. So I'm gonna go back on my kit and I'm going to bring out the essential hi-hat. Now hi-hats are a little bit different. The way I'm gonna do hi-hats actually is, instead of bringing it back, I'm going to go to the sampler and I'm gonna drag it in onto the sampler just to make it an instrument. and then I'm going to go into the MIDI editor and I'm going to play this notes because I want to show y'all some things. So we're going to just play this for 2 bars, and then I'm just going to drag this all the way out, and this is a very simple hi-hat pattern right here. And then I'm going to show y'all how to spice it up a little bit, because sometimes you don't want it to be this simple. So this is what we got so far. We'll do one more. We'll have it go one more thing. Boom. All right, so that's nice. That's nice and dandy. But there's going to be a lot of times where you want to add more than just each note. So the way to make it where you can add more than just one note at a time is you can do this thing where you take these notes and you shorten them and you add another one. So, and this is called a roll. So now instead of it going ta 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 ta, it's going ta ta ta. So, and then I want another roll right here. So maybe I want another roll right here. So we got something like this. And then maybe for this last one, we go here. And then we add a triplet, which is like, or actually we're going to do a quadruplet, which is 4 rolls. So now this is what we got as the pattern. And I hope y'all were able to see everything I was just doing. So pretty much what you do is you take the spacing, you bring it down so it snaps, and then you can put another note there and it'll add a roll. And then another thing you can do to make your drums sound even better, and I'm gonna actually show you this by moving my camera real quick, because my camera be in the way sometimes when I'm showing y'all the sauce. There's a few things you can do. You can either select all of this by clicking down and pressing Control A and pressing Humanize, which Humanize is gonna make it sound like a human played it, which means it's not going to directly be on beat, which is not the worst thing in the world if you want it to sound like a human made it. Now, I don't want it to sound like a human made it, but you can do that. The velocity changes the volume. So with some of the rolls, you can click on one and you can make it a random velocity, and now the volume of it changes. Or you could just drop the volume to make everything sound hit harder. So look at this. And then this one, maybe I want this. And then, you see what I'm saying? So you can change the velocity. You can change if it sounds like a human, all that kind of stuff. And that's how you can sauce up your hi-hats to not sound boring. You could do the same thing with snares. Like, you could do the same things. A lot of times I like to just drag in one of my snares. So let's bring in my central snare real quick. And I'm gonna let y'all hear what that sounds like. Snares are normally every like 4 beats. So like if we hear this, so like you see how this is at 1.3, I know the next one is going to be at 2.3 normally if we're just putting it directly on beat. So let's hear it. And then we're going to do it again one more time. And then we could do it one more time, one more again. And this is just how it make it perfectly on beat. So, and the snare's a little bit too loud, so I'm gonna drop it down volume wise. So now let's hear it with the melody. See, very, very simple. You could do the same thing that I taught with the rolls, but you don't have to do it in the sampler. You can actually just drag them down. You could drag them like this, so you be, or something like this, and then you could do like a tunk to tunk. So I'm thinking here. Nope, and that's supposed to be here actually. Nope, it's supposed to be here. And then maybe a tone to tone. So I see that I put that tone to tone at like there. So let's move this. I think it might be here again. No, it's here, right here. There we go. And now we got a basic drum pattern, or maybe it's not basic, but it's bouncy. So. And boom. So there is that. And then the next thing you can do is add things like rim shots, because there's more to drums than kicks and snares and claps and stuff like that, and hi-hats. You know what I'm saying? There's rim shots, there's perks, there's a lot of stuff you can add. So let's see. I got some perks in this, so I just want to add some pizzazz to it. So let's hear this. So maybe, let's see how this sounds. And this is like too low, so let's actually make it louder. And then let's add like another. And then maybe I want to add another one like right around here. And then boom. So now we gotta. And so that alone is already some very, very simple things to get your drums sounding better in BandLab. I plan on doing another tutorial to get it to sound even bouncier, but that's going to teach some mixing techniques. So put in the comments if y'all want that. But that's all I'm going to teach right now. Pretty much we just taught the kicks, how to make the kicks sound nice, hi-hat rolls and snares, and just adding perks and things like that. As long as you stay in this metronome, man, I'm telling you, bro, you stay in this metronome. Like everything, like if we look at everything with the metronome, or like the drums with the metronome, everything is on beat. See? And then you're good. Like and then you'll be good. You'll always be on beat and everything. But that's gonna be the end of the tutorial. I hope y'all learned something. I'm gonna have that drum kit. It's already on the website. It's gonna be the first link in the description, and it's just a little drag and drop. So you could just drag those drums in if you want, or you can create them like this. I'll show y'all real quick so y'all know. If we go back to the sampler that I had and we go to this bottom, you can drag in the sounds right here like I did for the hi-hats. You click here, you put save as, and then you can save it as any kit that you want. Like you could save it to whatever you want, and you'll have it on all the you'll have it on all the projects. I might just completely have everything on here for you, but if not, you'll just get a folder, and then you'll be able to drag and drop them yourself, and it should work. But yeah, y'all have a good day, and peace.